This is KimJong Throw here again, recording from my palatial compound in the heart of North Korea. I was watching your show on Udarvish the other day, and I was just inspired by the work Big Razy did, even though he wasn't able to eat. As you can see, we don't have a food problem here in the NK, or at least I don't. Anyways, I'm digressing. What were we talking about? Baseball. So with the start of the 2012 baseball season coming up in a few weeks, I bet you're so excited. In fact, I bet you're so excited your head might just explode. So my query for you is, since you know all things sports, especially all things baseball, how will my LA Dodgers do, and how do they stack up against the NL West?
Refreshing. Bud Light Platinum. It's better than being shot in the face. That's what it says on the label. Well, thanks for your query, dear leader, and that's a good one. I'll start with the Dodgers because you asked for it, but only because you did. This is the Balls Deep MLB 2012 preview kickoff edition, and we're going to start off with the LA Dodgers. Now, I expect the NL West to be competitive this year, but I don't expect a lot of teams to win a lot of games. I think 90 wins will take the division, and I think there's going to be a lot of mediocrity in between 90 and 70 wins. Let's start off with the Dodgers. Balls Deep has them pegged at under 81 wins. Balls Deep is willing to go a little bit further than that and say between 74 and 79 wins, which is pretty doggone specific over a 162 game season. The Dodgers do have a significant bounce back candidate in portly starting pitcher Chad Billingsley. Now, Chad likes food. He's under 6 feet and he's pushing 250, 260 pounds. But his ground ball rate last year was exceptional in the 40 percentile, and his home run and his walk rate were way unsustainably high, and I think those are going to come down. Now, obviously, they've got problems at the back end of the rotation. Ted Lilly, Lily Pads, Chris Capuano, and Aaron Harang are average at best. Some might use the word garbage if you want to be a little harsh. But they do have a stud starting pitcher. Dallas's Clayton Kershaw, last year's Cy Young Award winner. I'd like to do a little segment called Kings, Crumbums, and Codgers. The kings of that team, obviously, are Clayton Kershaw and center fielder Matt Kemp. He was almost 40-40 last year. I don't think he can do that again. I really am a big fan of his, but I don't think he's going to get those numbers. It's really difficult to do that 2 years in a row. Though I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I'm willing to say he'll be at least 10% under those home run totals, those power totals, just because there's no protection in the lineup. Crumb bums. Well, gosh, there's a lot to go around on the Dodgers. First baseman James Loney. Very rarely will you ever see a 6'5", 250-pound guy who has about 12 home run power. But if you're ever going to see it, it'd be James Loney. Perennial underachiever. Left field, they've got a guy who can barely move, who can barely hit. His name's Juan Rivera. Can't play a lick of defense, which is a pretty significant theme for this team. Codgers, guys that should retire and are essentially worthless. Second baseman Mark Ellis, who's good for about 50 or 60 games before he gets hurt. It's a shame because he's a good defender, but he will get hurt. And then at third baseman, San Francisco Giants former star reserve turned starter Juan Uribe, super utility guy, should not start for any good teams, which is okay because the Dodgers are not a good team. Their bullpen is a mess. They have a solid, at least average closer in Javi Guerra, and then the back end of it is just walk after walk after walk after walk. And I'm glad my dog's deaf because when I used to say those words, his ears would go up and he'd go apeshit. He's a Jack Russell. Their bullpen's going to be a problem. Again, Dodgers are going to be under 500. Thanks for your query, KimJong.